Welcome everyone to the weekly top 10 list this week, joined by Francesca Fiorentini. As always, Francesca, how's it going?
Good.
Glad to have you here for the top 10 things we really wish you'd shut up about. Not you specifically, you're very nice. Thank you for being here. But everybody, there's things that like if I could go from now until the day I die never hearing about it again, assuming that was long enough span of time, I would be so happy, Francesca.
No, mine's specifically about you. So mine are all about things I wish you. That's what I thought the prompt was. So it's just
well, at some point
with John Iadarola.
Okay. Maybe, we'll see. This is gonna be very personal.
I'm kidding.
Mine are more broad, and a couple are political, some are. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if I get in trouble. My number one is it's gonna do two things. One, it's gonna really piss some people off. And number two, it's going to get them to talk to me about the thing that, like, seriously, don't message me about this thing. I love you, but I don't wanna hear about it. So we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, thank you for being members at tier 2 or tier 3, getting access to this. Really do appreciate your support. And with that, Francesca, what's your number 5?
Okay, so I got a message. Maybe they're watching, maybe they're not. Mine are also like a little bit light, and I'm gonna start with the lightest. And usually a lot of men will be like, you need to do this with your hair or your makeup, and you need to be, and I'm like, yeah, you need a life. And this was I think a woman who, probably a younger woman, who was like, your eyebrows are great, but you should laminate them and they'll be amazing. So apparently what people are doing, young women are doing, is straightening their eye. You straighten your eyebrow hairs so that they are like large and in charge and like even bushier and high. What I'm saying is this: Gen Z, don't come for me. Just stop with your like makeup trends and your eyebrow on fleek crap. I'm not gonna laminate my eyebrows, but of course I immediately was like, tried to make them really bushy, and I'm like, I guess, am I supposed to do this now? And you might see me because I was like, okay, I guess I need to do this now. I guess this is a thing now, but just stop, guys. If you're if you are a feminist, well, it's not about feminism. I'm not gonna bring feminism into this. The point is, don't spend all this money laminating your goddamn eyebrows. That is dumb and silly. It's silly.
I've never heard of that before. Like I just assumed
I had to Google
if you run it through a laminating machine or something. I laminate paper. I'm that kind of nerd. But
I
no,
have
not the eyebrows.
my cat just like lick it up every morning. Like, here you go. Get your dog to
I don't know. I'm inclined to say that I don't know that there's a lot of Gen Z male trends, but the thing is, there probably are. I just don't know about them. And the obviously, because I'm a guy on the internet, I don't get 1/100th the comments about my physical appearance. But when I do, they're not specific about like, here's a trend that can help you. They mostly assume that I'm lost. It's mostly just commenting on like things I've done to myself. So that's fun. That's fun. Anyway, okay, that's a good one. Wow, I like that. That is more personal. Yeah. Oh God, now I'm wondering if I should have had some stuff.
No, I have other stuff too.
Something about prank shows, basically. I don't care. I'm not 15 anymore. Like it's not, and especially if it's on YouTube, it's not funny. Oh, and by the way, they're all fake. Every single one of them is fake. Back in the day, some pranks were real. Might still be awful or whatever, but they were real. Now they're not. I watched a prank. No, this is my number 5 now. It wasn't gonna be my number 5, but now it is my number 5. I watched a video on Facebook of a guy who was like, his girlfriend had cheated on him with his brother. And so he told her with this like box with a cake in it, and they were blindfolded. It was the fakest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it had like 1 billion views.
Oh my God.
I get that it's entertaining because somebody's getting one over on another, but they're not. It's totally fake. It's faker than professional wrestling. There's nothing real to it. So that apparently is now my number 5. Don't talk to me about pranks or prank YouTubers. I'm not interested anymore.
I like that. And I hate every time you watch one and you're like, this could be, it's fake. It's fake, definitely fake. And you catch yourself laughing, and then you're like, I am a simple person.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
Okay, number 4. air fryers. Like, stop.
Air fryers.
Why does this have to be a new like cooking fad? Just use your oven, get a better oven. Frying is bad for you anyway. This is like the vaping
but isn't air frying better for you?
I don't exactly. It's like
Shouldn't
the
we
vape.
talk about it?
No, because vaping was the better for you than smoking, and then that had a bunch of unintended / very foreseeable consequences. I bet you that air frying is gonna be just as bad. Something about the way the air does a thing. I don't eat meat, so I don't like. And also, when I did eat meat, I like baked chicken. It's fine. Learn how to make a good steak. Use a grill. I don't know, air fryer. It's another appliance.
George Foreman.
Yeah, no, that's a whole other. He used to be a Black Panther. But yeah, But yeah, I'm just like, why do I have to jump on this trend? Look, I just got an Instant Pot, which by the way has changed my life, but I don't want an air fryer. It takes up too much space, and I don't talk to me about though.
This is just, don't tell me about Catholicism. I found a different religion. That's all you just went through the whole religious thing.
No.
That's all it was.
No,
don't tell me about this sect. I've already got a sect.
No, yes.
An Instant Pot is an air fryer. It's
No,
not. But it's the same thing.
Well, what does it do? If I'm a vegetarian, what can I do with an air fryer?
I don't know. You can air fry vegetables, I assume. Now look, let me be clear. I don't own an air fryer. I do own an Instant Pot, and they are awesome, even though I don't use it very often because I don't cook. But yeah, I don't want to hear about any trend with food. I'll get it eventually. It took like 3 years to get an Instant Pot, so I do agree with you.
But all of these things are like they're so like first world, like not first world, but just like, people around the world make delicious things without Instant Pots, without air fryers, without blenders, without food processors. You mash it up. Like when I lived in Argentina, which I will talk about all the time. I used to make pesto, and I would just chop. Just chop a lot.
Chop a lot.
Just chop a lot.
Okay, that's a good one. My number 4, it might put me in trouble, but I'm just gonna say it. I don't talk to me about Julian Assange. And you might think, well, no, but he deserves a pardon. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the substance of any of it. I'm there with you. I was years ago, but the conversation's exactly the same as it was 3 years ago, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. Again, this isn't about the substance of any of it. I'm just done hearing about it every 2 weeks.
Don't lie.
There are some people who literally the only thing in politics they care about is whatever bullshit about Julian Assange. And I don't understand that being the only thing you're interested in politics. And again, it's not about the substance, and it's not about whether he once did a good thing or whatever. Sometimes bad, unfair things happen to people who are also horrible, and he's horrible. Not on that substance, but generally horrible. And I understand that based on some of the work that he did a billion years ago, a bunch of progressives feel like somehow he's our guy. He's not. He doesn't care if every progressive in America dies tomorrow. He doesn't care if we ever get Medicare. He ain't a leftist. He ain't an American progressive. He ain't any of that. And again, that has nothing to do with whether he should be pardoned or extradited or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I just don't want to invest any more of my soul into a person who doesn't give a about you or me or Francesca or anybody. He doesn't care about any of that. So I would love to just never hear again.
First of all, I didn't know we could swear on this.
Somewhere. Can we? We can't.
I love you.
Oh, wait,
I love
but this
you,
is
John.
not live. Can we bleep it? Okay, good. Sorry, Cassie or Alex. Anyway.
Sorry. I just want to say you're interrupting me saying that I love you, John, and this is why I love you, your show, your POV. Like, yeah, it's enough with Assange. Like, homeboy has done a lot of bad things. Hello, back channel to all the Russia stuff, but I'm just a Russia gator, / believe in reality and like read many different sources other than Glenn Greenwald. And so yeah, you're right. Assange had one good thing. Chelsea Manning and getting that information out was absolutely wonderful. I cried the day that Chelsea was pardoned. And I believe that she is a stalwart of her cause and remains that way. Assange, not so much. not gonna extend that to Assange.
Now that doesn't mean that then bad, unfair things get to be done to that person. I just, at a certain point, after making clear that I want fair, just things to happen, get to check out at a certain point and care about a lot of other people who are suffering that are also not terrible. There's a lot of injustices in the world. Diversify a bit. Anyway, that's my number 4.
That's maybe so good. That's so good. I wish I would have put more thought into this. Oh my God. Okay. Elon Musk reply, guys. I don't want to hear from you anymore. Shut up. You're saving up for a space tank or a moon truck or whatever the hell it's called. You're gonna waste all of your money on that Uggo POS. And you're like, cool, dude. I get that you're investing in GameStop so that you can then like buy a moon truck and like lick off of the Elon Musk lollipop. Like, stop. You're not a billionaire. You're never gonna be a billionaire. Replying to Elon Musk tweets by fawning over him is not gonna make you any closer to a billionaire. He is trash. He is up his own ass. He is not paying his fair share of taxes, didn't shut down the Tesla manufacturing sites when COVID was outbreaking. The guy thinks he is a gift from God and he's not. He is rapidly becoming just a carbohydrate-based like weirdo Grimes, fanboy, Joe Rogan smokes too much weed. I don't know what.
Oh my God.
He's a douchebag, just stop. So I don't want to hear anything about SpaceX. I don't care about your rocket launch. This is a rocket launch. This is a rocket. It's a rocket. I don't care.
Look, I like the rockets. I just don't want him to be involved in it all.
Yes, I don't want him to be involved in it. Every time I talk about space, every time I talk about Mars, man, I got hate when I talked about Mars on the Bitchuation Room. I'm sorry. I believe with Bernie. I'm with Bernie. We need to solve the crises on Earth. We need to help people on Earth. So stop with all the Elon Musk worship. I don't want to hear it.
That's a great one. Whew, okay, my number 3 is because I inserted YouTube prank shows at number 5. I gotta reconfigure this. My number 3 is going to be the Royals. Originally, it was gonna be my number 5 because apparently I do want to talk about it a little bit, I guess. But now I think I'm good. I think we got past that bit, and now I can go back to not caring about it and hopefully not hearing about it. And can I also lump Piers Morgan into the Royals thing? Those are pretty much inseparable anyway. Yeah. Other than liking that one couple, I don't care about any of it. It's stupid. I think that like if you're not gonna just get rid of them right now, just don't have it continue after. Like nobody should become the next duke or king. Just have it be, as long as they're alive, you have it, and then once they're gone, that's it. I think that would be great. There are good people in the world that you could focus your attention on. They're not Elon Musk, but there are good people other than the royals that have actually earned, hopefully, your respect or admiration or whatever. Yeah, so I'm sick of the royals. Don't talk to me about the royals anymore. What's your number 2?
I agree, they should die. Number 2 is more specifically, well, no, they should die out. Naturally.
They
don't naturally, like she should be, Elizabeth should be the last. I totally agree with you. And once they were completely unwilling to like honestly engage in what I thought was a very honest conversation vis-a-vis Oprah with Meghan Markle and Harry, then it's like, I don't care anymore. Guys, just go away, just go away. Number 2 is more specifically about John Iadarola, but it's also about me, and it's about just generally not understanding this world or universe.
What?
I don't want to hear anything about the Avengers.
I knew it.
Or Justice League.
I don't talk about
Avenger. I don't care. They're all the same. Wonder Woman, Batman, Hulky, Thor, with the Aqua dude and the pew pew pew. Like, no, I'm sorry. I like the comics. It's fine if you want to read comics. That seems cool to me. The movies are just overdone, too much CG, nothing interesting about plot. Scarlett Johansson can't act, so I don't even care about Black Widow. She cannot act. ScarJo is number one, 2.1.
Lost in translation.
I'm not an action movie person. I did like the Black Panther for many different reasons, but not the comic book action part of it or the hero worship. I don't like superhero stuff. I've never even seen all the Spider-Man. I watched the Spider-Man Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. That was excellent, but that was like for so many other reasons it was excellent. But I just don't care about saving the planet with your pew pew.
I should have known that you'd put that on there. First of all, it offends me so much.
I know.
So there's 2 layers to this. The first layer is it offends me so much that you lumped in all of that DC stuff with Marvel. But I also know that me being bothered by the distinction between that is probably another thing that you don't want to hear about, because to you, there's no distinction between those 2 things. But there is a distinction. Anyway, no, I'm not.
So Avengers are better. Black Panther's with the Avengers, or is he with the
yes.
Okay.
He's with the Avengers.
Where's Spider-Man?
Spider-Man is now with Marvel. It used to be an independent Sony thing, but now he's with Marvel for a couple movies. Anyway, yes, some of them are too CGI-ish, and that's generally when they lose me. But there's a lot of interesting writing, and I like the idea of heroism and people actually rising above themselves and caring about something, and all of that. There's a lot of stuff about patriotism and kind of quasi-fascist stuff that I don't necessarily like, but there's some good political messages too. And I like heroic sacrifice. It's my favorite thing in movies, so they give you a lot of that as well. So screw you. And I will continue to talk
rom-coms have heroic sacrifice, dude.
I like some rom-coms actually. That might surprise you, but I do. Anyway, okay.
Independence Day had heroic sacrifice. That was it. Didn't have to.
I cry every time that now crazy person flies into the spaceship. Yeah, I do every single time. Anyway, my number 2 is our first crossover. Anything by or about Elon Musk, I don't care. He should be remembered throughout time for only one thing. Everything else should fade away, like the dust should blow it away, as the biggest waste of some apparent talent ever, combined with him being given tons of resources. They pretend that he's self-made. Self-made, what are you talking about? His family's rich. But he could do apparently a lot. They literally they send rockets up and stuff. And
wasn't he born on a mine, like some kind of precious metal mine? South Africa?
He did it all from his garage. No, you crazy idiot. Anyway, he can make some stuff. It's not as good as they say. Tesla has a lot of manufacturing problems and stuff like that, let alone all the labor problems and everything. And then he made a few things, and other than that, he's like the worst person on the planet. I might despise him on a personal level more than I do Donald Trump. I'm not sure, I'm still working that out. But he's such a waste of time, oh my God. And of all of the people, for some other people on the internet to make liking them their entire personality, I don't get it with Elon Musk. Choose any random person, be a Taylor Swiftie or whatever, be super into Cardi B. That's better, that's so much better. God, Elon Musk is such a goddamn stupid, oversensitive waste of time. Anyway, what's your number 1?
Okay, number 1 is sort of the bad faith use of the word woke. And like wokeism, saying wokeism, which is now a big right-wing talking point. Oh, the wokeism, and the wokeism of the left and the blah, 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 the cultural Marxist wokeism. Wokeism is also sort of a term used by, bad faith lefties who basically are trying to say that they don't like identity politics and neoliberal or centrist identity politics, but end up just using shorthand woke and ultimately basically just throw people of color under the bus and like have no race analysis because they just got hip to socialism 2 years ago and now are all about class reductionism. So I hate the way that people say wokeism when it actually borderlines being kind of racist. And no matter whether you're on the right or the left, it just feels like you're throwing the Black Lives Matter movement and feminism and women's movements, LGBTQ people under the bus. And you're buying into a lot of the BS that like somehow those movements are dividing us when they're absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. This is one example of a lot of ways that the idea of something being able to be super simplified seems pure in a way that doesn't make it reflective of the actual world. We are not like this isn't physics. We're not just billiard balls that you can easily calculate how they bounce. It's complex. This is a complex world. You need to understand it, even if it makes you uncomfortable a little bit or whatever. So I agree, that's a great one. I originally had not quite that, but something akin to it, but you're 100% right. That's a good number one. My number one, I worry that it's a bit repetitive because I feel in a way that I can't express that it's the same thing as Elon Musk, but don't talk to me. And I'm talking to the internet. I'm talking to one or two specific people at our company. Don't talk to me about Bitcoin ever. God damn it. Ever. I hate it so much.
Crypto.
Now, there's some reasons I hate it that are more about me. Like I don't understand it. And I've gotten to the point where I think that everyone who says they do is lying, which probably again says more about me than about them. But even if I did eventually understand it, stop. Seriously, stop. And now apparently you're also wrecking the environment, which I hadn't really known about. So stop. I hate the fact that on the podcast app I'm on, or it's on YouTube, I hear about Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had. No, it's best case scenario, just money. And it's don't talk to me about mining. It's stupid. It doesn't mean anything. And I really honestly think that all of the people who get super into this, like, I think they all suspect like I do that it's a big scam, but they think that they can get the better of it. I think that this is all a big pyramid scheme of people trying to grab the pyramid, climb up it. And as they go up it, they like shout down, hey, this is awesome, come up with me. I think that's basically what it is. But no matter what it is, I hate it. I don't want to hear about it. And with Bitcoin, I want to throw in, and Elon Musk, I feel like it's the same thing. Also, NFTs, whatever those are, it's all like this is part of establishing a cyberpunk dystopia. Is we've come up with a bunch of digital shit that doesn't mean anything, and it's just a big waste of time, energy, both human energy and literal electricity, to create fun distractions for super rich people. And the whole thing, I get that I'm ignorant and that's laced throughout this. But the whole thing just frustrates me to no end.
You're just mad, bro, because like my Bitcoin just went up a little bit. So like, yeah, don't be a hater. No, it's a gateway. It's a gateway to more Bitcoin is gateway to more Bitcoin. It's very bad. It is, I know people who've gotten super obsessed with crypto and just like that's all they do, that is their life. It needs to be regulated. It is also, yeah, you're talking about like giant servers that house all of the like mining, like it's just so Black Mirror and so awful. And you're absolutely right. It's like people think that they're gonna make some money and they know it's not an okay thing, but they're just gonna do it anyway. And until it like finally gets regulated. No. And they have
made big money, and that's good for them. I'm glad. But
I don't want to hear about it either.
So
I totally agree.
Yeah, as I said at the very beginning of this, I am very worried that you're going to watch this video and think, oh no, John just needs to have it explained to him. No, I don't, and I don't message me. You know what should have been on this list? And it's sort of similar. I don't want to hear anything more about the last season of Game of Thrones and how you don't get why I was able to enjoy it on some level. And you think that two things. You think one, that you are capable of convincing me after the fact to have not enjoyed it. Or two, that if that was possible, that that's a thing I would open myself up to. Yes, please, logic me into not having fun anymore. Why would I do that? Please don't mess with me.
No, I mean, you're wrong. You're wrong about about the last season, but you're entitled to your wrong opinion. And I would never take your bad opinion from you, John.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, well, anyway, we gotta cut this so that we can go and have a conversation about Marvel and Hulky and all that. But anyway, Francesca, as always, thank you. Hulky, you know his name is the Hulk. Anyway, and thank you to everybody watching this for being tier 2 or tier 3 members. And I understand some of you may be really into these things. Again, just like she said, I'm so happy for you to be into it. I just don't want to hear about it anymore. And with that, we'll see you next time.